Taking a look at race one, it was pole position for Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charlwood. Alongside them, the defending champions, Schlosser and Fries. Todd Ellis lining up on row 2 with young Ted Peugeot, a brilliant 4th fastest. A lot to focus on here. All Todd Ellis has got to do is bring it home safely in both races, and the title would be his. 18 laps of the Estoril circuit ahead of them in race 1, and who would get the whole shot when the lights go out? Watch the lights in the top of your picture. Kershaw was very focused, likewise Schlosser. He knew what he had to do. He had to win both races, no questions asked. When the lights went out, it was indeed Kershaw who rocketed away, but on the right-hand side, going down towards turn 1, Curva 1 on the circuit map, Markus Schlosser, Marcel Fries grabbed the whole shot, dived ahead, and they obviously stamped their intention on the race from the very first turn. Could they maintain it? Well, Todd Ellis had other ideas. He was alongside both outfits, grabbing the lead at the next right-hander, curve 2 down towards the hairpin of Lamy and the chicane. Schlosser then down in 3rd at this point. Ted Peugeot started well. Wiesen was there. A good start by him. But Todd Ellis and Manuel Clonon with that 51-point lead weren't about to do this quietly. They had a cracking race 1. Sam and Tom Christie were dipping a toe in the water on another of their rare appearances in the World Championship, and they were to spend race 1 locked in a battle with Lucas Wiesen and Thomas Hoffer all the way through, and that rage that went on and on and on. Ted and Vincent Peugeot were ahead of them at this point, and it became very much a battle of 3 outfits at the front and 3 outfits chasing. You can see them on track, those top 6 separated by less than 5 seconds at that point in the race. Sam and Tom Christie again renewing their acquaintance with Lucas Wiesen. And what a fantastic battle that was. But at the front, Schlosser was looking hard to find a way past Kershaw. He and Charles would have got better and better and better on the Quattro Yamaha as the season has unfolded. So we can expect big things from Kershaw. And talking of that man, as he went through underneath Todd Ellis to grab the lead again. So the pole position man at this point was leading the race. Nothing between those top 3. Race 1 gave everyone huge expectations of the finale, because in this position, Todd Ellis was sitting pretty ahead of Markus Schlosser, but the Swiss crew knew they had to repay the compliment, and repay the compliment they did, as 3 abreast down into turn 1 again went Ellis with Kershaw ahead, and Schlosser relegated once more to 3rd place. But he was proving to be the stalwart and the tough opponent that he's been all season, and indeed was throughout the 2021 season. Very clean racing between these two, and it's been that way all year. And race 1 here was no exception in Estoril. A great circuit on which, dare I say, to round out the season. Fortunately, weather dry for this opening race, and would that be the case tomorrow? Well, only time will tell. Into the lead went Schlosser, underneath Kershaw, grabbing the front, and there the Peugeot, Christie and Wiesen battle, raging behind those 3 outfits. Kevin Cable, Chaz Richardson were having a good battle, as they have done most of the season when they've come up against Claude Vinet. The 74 of Peugeot trailing Sam and Tom Christie at this point in the race. And Lucas Wiesen has somewhat grown in stature as the season unfolded. Peugeot sliding through under Sam Christie. But a great result. Out in front then, it was Schlosser. Remember, came here with a 51-point, double points up for grabs, so 50 for the win. And damage limitation for Todd Ellis, and he at this point was up to 2nd place, with the pole position men Kershaw and Charlwood pushed down into 3rd. Among the tailenders, Vinay there getting a taste of the Schlosser medicine. Kevin Cable and Chaz Richardson on the L&W Contractors 111 outfit, also getting mixed up in this battle at the front. Wiesen, Peugeot and the Christies. Veteran Pekka Pavarinta, Ilse de Haas, had a steady ride back from shoulder surgery, so will we see a full season from Pekka Pavarinta in 2023? We certainly hope so. Over the line, Schlosser took victory handsomely, reducing that deficit on Todd Ellis by 10 points. So they would go to the line for race 2, 41 points adrift. Schlosser, Ellis, Kershaw, the podium confirmed for race 1. Wiesen, Peugeot, Christie, that battle raged all the way through. Pavarinta 7th ahead of Harry Payne and Callum Crowe. Vinay and Cable rounding out the top 10. Labai, Archer and Pierre Le Guen. Leopold Ruby 13th on the Suzuki. After a washed out warm-up, the sun came out, and for race 2 we are ready to go here. Glorious track conditions, absolutely perfect for the finale. In memory there of the French driver sadly lost his life in the TT. Very poignant moment by Emmanuel. Schlosser needs to win this, and if he wins it, a top 11 finish for Todd Ellis will do the job, and it will be champion Ellis and Clement. What a brilliant, brilliant race we saw from Lucas Wiesen, there we have it, and Thomas Hofer, Ted Peugeot, and behind him, Pekka Pavarinta. Wearing Bonovo action colours, Pekka. Benny Stroyer sadly had blown an engine and didn't take part in either race, so he'll have to live to fight again in 2023. Red flag moves out of the way then. Pole position of Kershaw, of course. What can they do this time? And let's see. The lights go, and away they go. The clutches are down, and off they head into turn 1, curve 1, at the bottom of this long, long straight at Estoril. Cloudless sky, perfect track conditions. Ellis from 3rd on the grid. Look at these boys at it again. It's Sam and Tom Christie, Ted and Vincent Peugeot, and in there as well, Lucas Wiesen. There's Wiesen coming out of the slipstream. The trailing foot of Emmanuel Clement waving from our rear-facing camera then. And they are chasing down the leading trio. How close do you want it? Look at this. It's Schlosser. Schlosser then grabs the lead from Kershaw. That's what the Swiss team need to do, and then they have to pray and hope and leave destiny in the lap of the gods as to where Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement will finish. Schlosser looking at the inside, the 29 Quattro Yamaha of Kershaw and Charlwood. Then it's Ellis. He's not going to take this as a quiet ride, is he? He's going to go with them and see what he can do, but he's got 3 outfits swarming all over the back. The red-plated number 6, Todd Ellis. Santander Salt Yamaha. Roger Body with his entourage here at this finale. Of course, the last race, the last year for Roger Body as promoter. Will he be back as a team sponsor? Well, we don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Is he going to let this glory go on the Santander Salt Racing team? As through goes Schlosser on Kershaw, and Kershaw fighting back, so there's a real scrap at the front. Ellis very wisely sitting there, waiting for something to happen, a bit like your dog might sit by the dining room table waiting for scraps of meat to fall off. Is any meat going to drop off the Quattro Yamaha? I don't know. Ellis is poised on the inside to make a move here. No, drops back, riding very cautiously, but not so Kershaw. Kershaw through then to assume control again at the front. Long, long way these races. Long distance. So it's all about conserving the engine, conserving the big fat Avon tyres. That is another bit of drama in the paddock. Avon are due to have their last year in 2023 in terms of tyre supply, having been taken over by the mighty Goodyear. The motorsport division is in for some radical changes. Look at these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outfits on the same piece of tarmac. In fact, dare I say, 7 outfits. Pavarinta is in there as well and hanging on to the coattails. Riding with Sam and Tom Christie, the Beverley-based brothers who have had such a stellar season, runners-up in the British Championship, just as Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement were winners of the British Championship just a couple of weeks ago. Victory at Brands Hatch, and if they win here, they will join a somewhat elite but very small group, including Tim Reeves, Steve Webster and the late Jock Taylor, of having won both the World and the British in the same season. 9 victories for Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement coming here to Estoril. 2 victories for Schlosser, 2 victories for Kershaw, and 1 victory for Benny Stroyer, and only 4 winners then in this World Championship. Here goes Sam Christie. Sam Christie up to 3rd place. Sam and Tom Christie past Todd Ellis. Lucas Wiesen now looking at the back of Emmanuel Clement's foot. 41 Gust Oil Racing teammate effectively to Marcus Schlosser. Very likeable young Swiss. Look how close they are. Kershaw ahead of Schlosser. Christie in 3rd. What a ride these boys are having. Well, hopefully in 2023 we'll see the likes of Tim Reeves, Ben Birchall back here scrapping. Harry Payne with maybe a quicker bike. Certainly going to be full grids in 2023. Make sure you miss none of that action. Harry Payne and Callum Crowe, certainly the best of the rest, leading the chasing pack on a Yamaha which they confess to be much, much slower than the bike they were using earlier in the year. So hopefully they'll get that sorted for next season. But brilliant stuff at the front with Kershaw and Charlwood now opening a gap over the, I've got to say, outgoing champions. They're defending almost as well as they possibly could, but Kershaw and Charlwood are on a mission here. Schlosser and Fries can do nothing about what happens behind them, but they can only influence what happens in front. And they are now building momentum down towards the right-hander. They're up the inside. Are they going to outbreak Kershaw here? Well, my money would be on Schlosser doing it. And he does. Does he keep it tight? Yes, he does. Beautiful passing move. Back into the lead then. 50-point position. Remember, he came here 41 points in the lead. All Todd Ellis has to do is bring it home. Well, top 10 will be absolutely safe. Here they go. 1, 2, 3. 4th place now for Todd Ellis. That will do very nicely, sir. Ellis Clement. He'll be listening to the engine. He'll be feeling strange vibrations. Harry Payne, Callum Crowe leading the charge behind these top outfits. Ordinarily, Payne would be in the mix, but personal circumstances changed his fortunes somewhat at the 2/3 distance of the championship, and he's now obliged to compete on a bike less than competitive, but doing a great job nonetheless. He's here, he's fighting. Todd Ellis is here and fighting. He is in 4th place. Sam and Tom Christie ahead of him. Then it's Wiesen, Peugeot. Look at that, brilliant stuff. The weather has been absolutely wonderful for this second race, and indeed it wasn't bad for yesterday's race either. Race leader, Schlosser, Kershaw and Charlwood. And then Sam and Tom Christie. On the pit wall, the excitement, the tension, the drama is building here. There'll be a lot of nail biting, I can tell you, as they go over the line. Kevin Cable, Chaz Richardson. Here they go, Guinea there, Labai. Good turnout, good representation by the French crew. Schlosser then still holding. This is an incredible race. Still nothing between the top 6 outfits. Good stuff here. of the closest races that I've seen for a long time. But if Sam and Tom Christie can hold off Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement, that will be an absolute final bit of polish to their season. Riding now with the newly crowned British champions, soon to be, if their luck holds out, world champions here at Estoril. But as I said earlier, they will be riding with every bit of caution they can, and we've seen the maturity that Todd Ellis can display. He's underneath Sam and Tom Christie. He's through on Sam and Tom Christie. So back up to third for Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement. Well, the Christie boys, I would imagine, if the events don't clash, will do a full season next year at World Championship level. It's all about getting the calendars to dovetail, and that's not quite as easy as it sounds. Here comes Sam Christie again, having a look, but Todd Ellis is a demon on the brakes. We know he just lets the brakes off, just holds off that half second longer, and his corner entry speed much quicker at that moment than Sam Christie's, who's also riding here for a finish. Let's face it, very reliable. They do not break down, they keep going. Third place, Ellis. Fourth, Christie. Pekka Pavarinta hanging on the back of this lot. A much better ride for the veteran Finn this time. He and Ilse de Haas. Oh, I do hope they do a full season next year. Has talked about retiring. He's got himself a new job which has a degree of responsibility with it. Time away, not always easy. There, the Christie Engineering Services Yamaha ahead of Lucas Wiesen. Estoril Yamaha on board now with Schlosser, and a spin! A spin! What? Oh, near. Back end broke away, went in too hot. Oh, Marcus, you do not make mistakes. That was a rare one. I was busy focusing on the shiny bit of the fairing, suddenly realised I was looking at the armco. Race leaders then, Kershaw and Charlwood. What a result for them if they can bring this one off, and it's a massive lead. A massive lead. Schlosser has recovered and is holding second place. 41 Wiesen, Thomas Hofer doing a great job. What a good pair they've been this year. So the rest of the pack were not close enough to take advantage of that. Pekka Pavarinta right on the back of Ted and Vincent Peugeot, and having a look up the inside as well, going through on the young Frenchman with his father alongside. Now second place for Schlosser. Ellis closing the gap. That was remarkable to get it sideways and recover and only lose one place. Christie's ahead of Wiesen. There are lovely shots. Pavarinta ahead of Peugeot. Strong, listen to them go down the gearbox. Music to your ears, isn't it? Now Ellis will be listening, looking at the gauges, feeling vibrations that aren't there. They are into the closing stages now of what has been a stunning season. They are doing more than enough, and it's just a question now of bringing it home. But if Kershaw and Charlwood can make victory here, what a great way to round out the season for them. Schlosser has been a worthy champion, and the word on the street is that he's retiring at the end of this season. So he's gone out in style. What a gentleman he's been. Checkered flag it is. Victory for Kershaw and Charlwood in race 2 here at Estoril. Schlosser recovered well for runner-up spot. Over goes Ellis. Clement in third place and world champions with it. Oh, wow. There's your top three. Fourth place it was for Sam and Tom Christie. Lucas Wiesen, fifth. And a great ride by Pekka Pavarinta. Ilse de Haas, sixth place. But there it is confirmed. Kershaw, Schlosser, Ellis, podium for race 2 here. Christie, Wiesen, Pavarinta, Peugeot, Payne, Cable, Archer and Thomas rounding out the top 10. Great result for them, but world champions, and they're Labai, Vinay and Le Guen 13th on the Suzuki. A grin from ear to ear for Steve Kershaw, and why not?